George Brown, men's physique superstar. George, you might have been the shocker of the press conference. You weren't up on that stage, but you picked up that mic and you challenged those top men's physique guys, including the champ, Jeremy Buendia, who was very upset with you.
Well, I mean, he can be upset. It's I don't see how you can get upset if someone's saying that they're going to win, and it's an open competition. So, you know, if he gets upset, that's on him, you know, but I have the same confidence. I don't get upset when he says war for 4. I don't get upset.
Now, explain what that means? That
war
going
for 4 is like, you know, he's going for his 4th title.
Gotcha.
You know, so he'll say, hey, I'm about to whoop some ass. I don't get upset when he says that. I feel like he should say that. So I just, you know, say how I feel, and it is what it is.
Did you do that to get under his skin and maybe make him raise his cortisol levels a little bit?
I mean, you know, if that happened, you know, that's cool. You know, so I just say how I feel.
I'm here with the reigning Miss Physique Olympia, and you're defending again. You look ravishing. I can tell you're in shape because you got the face all sucked out.
Right? Yeah, it is. Face is a little bit too thin today, but that's what we have to do.
That means you're in shape, Juliana.
Thank you.
Do you feel like, now that you're kind of a veteran at this thing and you're the reigning Miss Olympia for a couple of years now, do you feel like confident? You know, do you feel like, hey, you know, I own this?
I absolutely do.
Who's going to win?
My class? Juliana Malacarni.
I am here with Nicole Wilkins, who is very familiar with the Figure Olympia stage because she's won the show multiple times, coming to try to return and get your title back in this lineup, which is possibly the most difficult lineup in the whole show. How do you feel, I should say, what kind of confidence do you bring into this show knowing that you got a big battle against you?
I can't really focus on what anyone else is doing. I have to just take a look at what I did last year and the years prior and what I need to fix and work on and just try to improve on that. I think if I were to come in with better conditioning and a little bit fuller, a little bit more muscle, wider back, bigger glutes, which is what I worked on in the off season, then hopefully it bumps me up a little bit. But
the ironic thing is that how you looked last year would have won any Olympia 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they would have said, this was the best we've ever seen her.
Yeah, I mean, the structures are definitely very competitive. Some genetics that I have to really try a lot harder to reach. So, yeah.
I'm here with Angelica Teixeira, who is about poised to possibly win her first Miss Bikini Olympia. We had you on the show the other day. The fans seem to love you. You got the greatest personality. Is this going to be your year?
I hope so. I mean, I did my best, so I'm very excited, very happy with the package I'll bring to the stage.
Let's see the package. Spin it around a little bit. It looks good to me.
Thank you.
Standing here with the Boston Mass, Jose Raymond. Jose, you guys got to sit at the press conference up on that stage.
Yeah.
Flex Lewis laid it on the line for you guys, and you were kind of very laid back, like very almost confident and contemplative.
You know, I should be confident. I think anyone that really does their homework and is prepared, then you're confident, you know. I always use the analogy of when you're in high school and you're prepared for an exam, you didn't sweat going in to take that test. But if you didn't study and you weren't ready, you didn't want to go take that test. I'm ready for this test.
Were you sweating last year? A little?
A little bit, because I had some shit going on, you know. But you know what? I still represented myself well, considering the circumstances. This is a whole different story this year. This prep was all about being healthy and finally being able to train the way I was able to train.
Yeah, when you say healthy, you had a bad knee last year.
Right. So I couldn't squat, I couldn't deadlift, I couldn't do a lot of the things. And just from squatting, I was able to bench more. Just from deadlifting, I was able to incline more. I was able to do more bent rows, and my whole body got stronger, thus more density throughout my body and in a more complete body than I was a year ago.
You look bigger than I've ever seen you. Standing here with Tony Doherty, Mr. Australia himself. Tony, I want to ask you a question about Flex Wheeler being in this men's Classic Physique lineup. Obviously, you and I grew up as Flex Wheeler fans.
Yeah.
What does this mean to bodybuilding? What kind of infusion of energy do you think we'll see on stage? We saw the videos. He looks good. How can he place in this lineup, in your estimation?
Well, you know, everybody looks good in videos and in pictures, but when you stand up next to the other guys, that's when we're going to find out. I mean, I've no doubt that Flex is going to bring his A game. He's possibly the most competitive person we ever met. You know, back in the day, guy was crazy. and I'm absolutely sure that he'll be in great shape for that division. He's not going to be the flex wheeler bodybuilder that we knew in 93, 94, 95. I got to shoot him. I was sitting in a press pit with a camera shooting black and white shots, and all those shots up in my gym that you've seen.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And I remember back in the day, I'd get back because we had print film, and half of my film would be Flex Wheeler because he was just so good to look at on stage, and I don't think pictures have ever done Flex justice because of his tie-ins, his muscle insertions, his muscle bellies. So if he brings some of that, those other guys have got their work cut out for them. But it could be a little bit like Kevin last year, that it was great for the sport, it was so hyped up and everything else, but we didn't know till he stood next to the other guys.
I have to ask my good friend Andre Ferguson here, who gave some good stuff at the press conference, but then got overshadowed by George Brown yelling at Jeremy Buendia. Were you in shock?
Kinda, yeah. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Did George do that to kind of pull some psych out stuff with Jeremy?
Well, if he wasn't, it worked. So.
Were you happy because you kind of like were just watching from the sidelines saying, "Yeah, keep going, guys"?
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
But George showed you some respect.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, well, he didn't go after you at all. I figured he knew better.
We don't do that. We don't do that. That's my guy.
Can you beat George?
I can beat everyone.
Standing here with Chris Cormier, the guru of the Camel Crew. You've seen Big Ramy in the gym. You've posed him. Everyone wants to know, can Big Ramy win the Olympia this year?
I mean, I know you have to wait and see, but I think he has the tools to win the Olympia, yes, I think so.
Flex Wheeler, a nemesis of yours and friend at the same time back in the day when you guys were competing against each other, doing the Classic Physique division. Can Flex win the Olympia? At 50, what is he, 53?
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, I think it's just great for him to be here. I know he's shooting to win it. I think when I first saw him actually take his shirt off, which I was really, I was like, borderline, okay, is it? Because I didn't never see him pose. But I was really impressed, and I actually called him from Kuwait to congratulate him and tell him I was proud of him, and that this is the closest thing I see. I mean, that he had some of the greatest genetics that we had in the sport leading up to us getting older, and I'm just happy to see where he's at, and I think he did himself really good. I think he should be nothing but proud and keep his head up, and no matter where he places, I think he did great. I'm really proud of him.
Given what Flex accomplished, can Chris Cormier make a comeback at some point, or is it?
I don't know, man. I started getting on the cardio. I started doing my thing, man.
I saw you doing it. Yeah, that's why
I'm not playing.
Maybe Cormier's going to come back to Classic.
I said I want to just look good and see how I look, and if I could do it, I love to be up there. That's for sure.
Here with Chris Bumstead, who is doing his first Olympia.
First time here.
You didn't get a chance to be up on that press conference stage. I'm sure we'll see you there next year.
Hopefully, yeah.
Watching those guys, were you like, man, I want to be there?
I didn't even really know what time was going on, and I started clicking through my story, and I'm like, I'm not there, Like, next year for sure, yeah.
Standing here with Nathan Asscher, our very good friend, who Yamamoto made you a very good shirt. You look ridiculous in the shirt.
Nice fit, nice and tight.
It looks like a superhero costume they got you in.
Makes me look bigger.
That's right. Now, you were showing a lot of confidence in the press conference today about what you were going to bring to the stage as far as size, conditioning, and where you stand with these other guys. Where did all this confidence come from?
I believe that Dave, last year, I believe, and so a lot of people, I should have got 8, so I think if I should have got top 8 last year, I'm bringing a bigger package. Even though weight doesn't count, no one cares about that. But my size has improved, my weaknesses or my strengths now.
Well, it is a bodybuilding show, so people do care about size, especially if it's conditioned.
I believe I was one of the best conditioned on stage last year. The condition for me is not a problem. I never suffer with condition. It's always putting the mass on. So without being arrogant and cocky, I believe I can beat a lot of the big guys. And I believe that this year things are going to change in bodybuilding. I don't believe that this big mass streak is gonna shine through. If you put me at the likes of Cedric, Sean, Dexter, this is the lineup I should be in. And I believe then I'll show a lot more of my physique rather than put me with the likes of Ramy and Rowley, because they're mass freaks and that's not me,
Well, you kind of bridge both worlds. You got mass and you have conditioning and you got symmetry.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough. I think that's the Jamaican and Filipino inside me.
There's a tank just rolled into town. His name is Charles Dixon. Holy mackerel, you're looking huge.
Man, I hope so. I don't feel huge at the moment because I'm hungry.
You're hungry? You look like you ate everything in the refrigerator.
Man, I don't feel like it though, but man, I feel pretty good. Just hungry right now, but
You're the thickest guy I've ever seen from side to side. I mean, you look like a wall.
I guess they say I'm wider than I'm tall. So.
How the heck did you make 212 pounds?
Dave, I don't even know. I starved myself for 2 days.
Is that really how you do it? Are you going to shave that beard?
No, man.
Why not? It looks a little, it's too scraggly. I think it's got to be a little tighter.
You should have saw earlier today.
Oh, it was worse?
Oh, I got a caveman earlier today, man. It was,
you're ruining your symmetry. You got to make it, just tighten it up a little bit. How about that?
Okay, I'll tighten up a little bit.
Charles Dixon, listen to my advice. Hey, good luck out there in that lineup. I want to see you break that top 3 this year.
I will, man. Look, I want to tell you for once, man, you have been a fan of mine since my amateur days.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you all the coverage of RxMuscle you give me, man, especially Muscle in the Morning, one of my favorite shows. And every time you put me on there, I get a message like, Dave gave you a shout out. So, man, I appreciate it, man. You always been a good fan of mine. I always gave some good advice, man. So, I get the top 5, Dave.
Pull out that heavy artillery, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
I appreciate it, bro.
It's the Kuwaiti Donald Trump. Is this the year Rami wins the Olympia finally?
I hope so.
Sure. We all hope so. I want to know. You know. You're the man with the answers.
It will be something different tomorrow.
Here with Heather Dees back on the Olympia stage. Heather, prediction for the match.
My prediction?
Your prediction.
I'm going to be in the top 3.
That's all I wanted to hear. A very confident Heather Dees here. I'm here with the beast, Ruli Winkler. A lot of people want to see a top 3 finish from you. A lot of people, myself included, think it's possible. Will we see a top 3 this time around?
You know, I work hard for it. I see myself in the top 3 for sure. Last year I come big, and everybody wanted to see me a little bit leaner, and I do it. And this way, I see myself in top 3.
No one has more muscle per square inch than you do. No one will deny that. This is a muscle contest. I would love to see it up there. I hope you fulfill the prophecy.
We go for it.